This might be a little bit of an oversimplification, but if you ask me, I think there are 4 basic types of bass patterns or grooves for fingerstyle guitar. And this is the order I encourage everyone to learn them. Now, anytime anyone asks me how to get into fingerstyle playing, I advise to start in open tuning, open D in this case, because that way you can, well, first of all, focus on your picking hand and not being, bogged down with the different chord shapes if they give you trouble, or if you're not that comfortable with the guitar. It's easier to start in open tuning because most of these bass lines you can play with open strings without fretting anything. So the easiest one to start with is basically a single string, single note bass. I wouldn't even call it a bass line, just a bass groove. Now, and in this case, in a bar, you have 4 measures and you basically play 4 bass notes on every downbeat, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4. Downbeat is when your tapping foot is on the floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And easy as this. Now, the song that comes to mind to practice this one is Key to the Highway. I have the tab in open D tuning right here, but it kind of feels like... and so on. So this is really strong foundational groove to start out with. The second one is a little bit more complicated, but I think this is sort of the gold standard or the default version everyone plays in 70-80% of the time. So it is not that complicated either. But this time you're playing two basically bass notes, 2 strings. Now it's the same note but on different strings, so you're gonna play an octave. And again, this is where open D comes in, because you can play that same note in an octave in 2 open strings, 6th and the 4th, both are D notes. Now the way to count it out is, now you're not only playing on the downbeats but also the upbeats when your foot is up. The way you count that or say that is basically 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the upbeats are the ands. You're gonna play the 6th string open on the downbeats and the 4th string open on the upbeats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. So an easy song to practice this with is my arrangement of Hank Williams' Hey Good Lookin'. As you can see, there's barely anything going on really with the fretting hand. You can also find the tab up here. Now, if you're looking for a little bit more of a challenge, you can go with Deep River Blues, but there's a million songs out there. So Deep River Blues does have some chord shapes here. But I also have that tab, so you can either find it up there or down in the description. But it brings me to another point. On your root chord, or as long as you play bar chords, your G and A, with this bar position, you can use the 6th and the 4th strings. So you're playing octave notes. But if you're going to these inversions of your G and your A7, you wouldn't be able to play the octave, because just as a general rule of thumb, pun intended, you're playing your bass notes on the 6th, 5th and 4th string. So you're not really going down, at least as a bass note, you rarely go down to the 3rd string. So you have to readjust your pattern. So if you're playing this G starting on the 5th string, A string, you would play the 5th and the 4th string. And the same with the A. So the string sets are the same. In the G, you're playing or fretting the 2nd fret of the 5th string and then open 4th string. And for the A, it's the open 5th string and 2nd fret on the 4th string. Now, this you can already call a boom chip rhythm, but the traditional Chet Atkins, Tommy Emmanuel sort of boom chick is a little bit more complicated. That's our third type of bass note. And sort of you count the same way, you're adding one more string. So you're playing on 3 strings now. So you're adding basically your 5th, not just the 5th string, but in this case the 5th of the chord usually. So octave and then 5th back to the octave note. So the way you can count it out is that on your 1 and your 3 you're playing the low A string, but on your 2 and your 4 you're playing the A string. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. So a really good song to practice that in open D tuning is Steel Guitar Rag. So Steel Guitar Rag, it does use the slide. I guess you can try it without the slide as well. You can you can find the tab up there or down in the not the comments but the description. So again, in standard tuning, most of the Chet Atkins songs in C uses this sort of pattern, and maybe you can start with Freight Train. I also have that tabbed. So that is the main 3 that everyone knows and everyone uses. But there's a 4th one, and not that many people know about it, or at least they don't use it regularly. And granted, I don't use it too often as well, but I like to use it as sort of a colorful variation on the blues. And I think it comes from North Mississippi Hill Country blues, and this is basically a really strong backbeat groove. So far we played on the downbeats and the upbeats, but just the downbeats and then the downbeats and the upbeats, and now we'll play only on the upbeats. So and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now this is tricky. You definitely need to set your mind to it. Practice it probably with a metronome. And I have an original song that I like to use this to demonstrate. It's not tabbed anywhere, but it's called Rolling Stops. And Mississippi Fred McDowell has a couple of songs like that. I think I have a lesson about one of them. I will dig that up. But just to demonstrate the groove itself. So use this, to break out of the usual patterns. Whenever we play live with my duo or trio Blues Willis, I like to mix up the songs and try to come up with a set list that has variety in there. So we play all sort of finger picking patterns, mixed up rather nicely, and of course use the old school rock and roll boogie pattern and other finger picking stuff as well. But I think these are the main 4 to get into with blues and Chet Atkins type playing. So hope you give them a shot. Let me know if you already knew them. Let me know if you knew majority of them but you never tried the last one, the backbeat. And just in general, what you think. I really hope this lesson was useful for anyone trying to get into fingerstyle playing. This is, again, a good way to start if you're a beginner. Start in open tuning and don't stress too much about the chord shapes. Make your life easier and comfortable until you get your finger picking bass bass and melody playing in order, or get comfortable with it. So let me know how it goes. If you have any questions, I'm glad to answer them in the comments. And it's always a good sign to finish the video when my English skills are rapidly declining. So see you in the next one.